Hey, what's going on, guys? As everyone knows, I've been a big advocate of the R3BAR. So today I want to hop on here and do a quick workout. We're gonna cover a couple different exercises that I really like and put it all together in a whole kind of functional routine. Again, R3BAR has been a game changer for me for stability, mobility, and then functional strength. So it brings all those elements together really in, I wouldn't call it simplistic fashion, but in a, truly functional manner. So I've been training with this the past couple months, and let's jump right into it. All you need to do this is a bar. I also have a Manduka mat here since I'm doing it outside. So, all right, I recommend sitting down because it's like slightly awkward. Make sure that the bands are always facing down from the actual insertion point. That's important, all right? And that holds true for every movement you do. So as we go into like a shoulder press, you still want these facing down. So sometimes you have to coil it a little bit just to keep that consistency with the insertion point and the bands. Next, to put it on your foot, you just step in. Usually I do this standing up, so sitting down is a little unusual for me right here, and then just wrap once over the top of your foot. I bring it slightly behind the ball of my foot, and you'll see why once we're standing. All right, so just to get blood flowing, this is how I usually like to start, just right in center here, and we're just gonna get blood to the arms. 20 repetitions. On all of these movements, keep your core engaged, so glutes engaged, chest up, stand strong. After you hit 20, I like to reverse the grip, work your forearms a little bit. Before getting into our stability set, warm up the shoulders a little bit more. And this is still just a warm up. So hold wide and face pull. Five there. And then again, being mindful of the insertion point, come up to shoulder press and 5 reps there. All right, getting into the stability side of things. We're gonna start with our left leg locked, press the bar up. I like to grip a little bit wider here. So notice my hands working out a little bit more, and then right foot up. Right foot back, right foot out. Trying to get as much extension as possible. That was 1. We're gonna do 5. Trying to keep your balance. If you fall, that's okay. I fall all the time. After you get 5, switch legs. You'll notice one side is most likely quite a bit stronger than the other. See? Focus and body awareness. Ooh. See, my left hip is really tight, so it affects the movement. That's what I like about these two. It works through some of the tight and sticky spots and really just helps increase range of motion. That's like probably the biggest takeaway I've noticed from this is increased range of motion, and through that I'm finding more functional strength, especially in my hips. So after we hit that set, we're gonna work onto the ground real quick, and we're gonna do a couple more hip openers. All right, so for these, the bar comes overhead, press straight up. I liken this to being a frog essentially. So the bar does not touch the ground, hovers like maybe an inch above, feet off the ground. Bring your knees in, out, and down. Keeping your feet as close as possible to the cement, getting a full range of motion. After 10 reps, we reverse it. So press out and then back out. It starts working the abductors. Quite the stretch. All right, then we want to start getting into the lower abs. So legs up with control. For all my yoga people, it's a great one to work handstands. Gives you that lower abdominal control. But really for all athletes, you might feel it in your hamstrings. The bar reveals weakness, and we strengthen through that. All right, so finishing up on the back there. We'll come back there, but I like to kind of keep a continuous flow. That's one good thing about this. You can target different areas without getting too stuck in the mud or overtaxing yourself on one particular movement. Again, through all of this, you really feel it in different parts of your core. So you'll see that on this next movement. It's a great strength one, but it really identifies where a lot of our power comes from in various different athletic movements. Like our hips, obliques, all of this is just so important for not only driving power, but also maintaining a level of stability where we can avoid injury. So we're gonna start here, all one side first. So squat, turn. You're gonna get the bar completely to the side. My foot drives into the ground. I'm getting full extension. And after 10, other side. Continuing to get full extension. All right, keeping the rhythm and flow going, we're gonna jump back to the overhand curls. I really like these because I've been focusing on trying to get my pull-ups right. Like pull-ups have been a big area of focus for me. Little do people know, these forearm muscles, which can be developed through this method of training, are critical for pull-ups. So another 20 of those. All right, good. Back to stability. These are straight out of the yoga room. It's a little Warrior 3 variation. So again, keeping your base leg strong, your left leg. I recommend finding a gazing point here to lock onto. It helps keep your balance. So right knee up, and then point back. The bar is going to pull you in opposite directions. That's okay. Go for 5 quality repetitions. Good foot lock. Maybe find a little more length each repetition. Good. Switch legs. Left leg comes up. All right, good. Next, come down on, so let's come down to hands and knees position, not tabletop, hands and knees. And this is where I've got a good little sequence that I always like to work in. Works the core and then works your upper back as well. So plant the bar firmly on the ground, feet or knees underneath your hips, stacked, lock, use your left hand, grip firmly. You can keep the bar with just your left arm, and then right arm extends out. Left leg extends back, meet in the middle. Really exaggerate perfect repetitions. Really hunch in the middle. Extend after 10. Switch. Right arm plants down. And left arm extends out. Right foot extends back. Meet in the middle. Again, it's not uncommon to have one side quite a bit weaker than the other. That's something I'm working through, and the likelihood is you are as well. All right, next one, Superman's. I recommend gripping a little bit wider here, or it can be challenging to get the bar up. Head down, feet pointed. Again, taking a second to hold it at the top. Good. So working back to center. So feel free to repeat that sequence multiple times if you want, but I always like to finish it with planks. All right, these are a tough one. You're going to grip the bottom of the bar, bring it to the top of your mat. Left arm extends up. You come into a plank here. 20 repetitions. You feel this in your core, you feel it in your hip. It's a very powerful movement. Like with everything, don't forget to breathe. Like I just did. Again, spiral that forward. Strong grip at the base. Right arm keeps it up. All right, that's a great finisher. So, the great thing about the rebar is it works with your body. So you can mix it up. There's all sorts of different movements that you can integrate. It's functional. So like you could do a lunge with a twist, and it's just challenging your body on a number of different fronts. It cultivates this body awareness. It's mindful movement. So highly recommend this thing. I love training with it. I get comments sometimes that are like, it's not hard, or I don't know, I guess it looks easy. It's not easy. This is an extremely challenging device. It really pushes you, especially in ways that you're just not aware of, right? Like it works muscles you didn't even know were there, but are just so important. So shout out to Tim Manson and the entire R3BAR team as well. That dude's a genius. animal, but brilliant. So I think this is the future of training. I think you're gonna see more traditional weightlifting move towards more movement-based, functional movements. So I'm all for it. I hope you guys enjoyed the workout. Another beautiful thing about this too, you can match it to get the specific type of training you want, meaning like I'll do this some mornings non-stop for 30 minutes in a HIIT type fashion, right? Hitting it as hard as I can, going different movements, and really maximizing like fat burning and that sort of thing. On other days, I might take my time and really, I might up the band to the gray one or something like that and get a little more resistance and focus a little bit more on building power, but taking more time in between your sets. So I like that this sparks creativity and it gives you a lot of different options. So shout out R3BAR training, rethink training. Till next time, I appreciate you guys.